Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we'll be relaxing as per usual. I feel like that's now going to become part of a lexicon, I suppose, of the intro. But anyway, we're talking about cherished, where there's not many other things I think to really talk about. I think in Paris, like the only other thing I think is we went to Le Bon Marché. I mean, it was just like the conclusion, I suppose, of all the other random stuff that happened. But the major thing is we went to Le Bon Marché, so I guess we could talk about that a little bit. Good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 11:26 p.m. on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. Oh yeah, happy bonfire night. I actually don't hear any fireworks right now, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, what else happened? I've started a thumbnail art for the next series, which is following on from Stray. So I've done the sketch. I need to now that I've done the sketch and refined sketch, I need to do the actual line art and colour in. I think it should be one of the easier ones to do because the background's actually surprisingly simple, and so is like the line art and colouring. The one after, which I need to do because Okami's probably finishing soon, is going to be a little bit harder, but not like crazy hard. I think it's still very much within my style. Well, sort of. But yeah, so that's good. What's going on with my games? Oh, Zelda Zone Zero, Yanagi is coming out tomorrow, which is exciting because I do want to pull for her. She had like a crazy trailer drop. I was already on board before, and then like her trailer dropped, and I was like, whoa, she has pretty cool lore, all on board. So that's pretty exciting. Neopets, which is something which I normally do while playing Animal Crossing. I didn't today though. I'm not really sure why I didn't. It's actually a little bit annoying because I talked about this before, but Neopets you can have like a main account and a side account. Of a side account you basically can't earn like any money or anything on, and your main account is where you do like is what you actually use, and the side account is basically there just to hold Neopets or like be an extra gallery, etc, etc. But I talked about this ages ago. I couldn't like log into my side account anymore for some reason. I don't know what happened. So I had to like submit a ticket being like, hey, can I get access to this again, because apparently their email systems aren't working, so you can't do forget a password. Crazy they haven't fixed that, by the way, but you know, Neopets are very short staffed, I think, all things considered. I'm just happy that like it exists. And I wanted access to my side account again because my lab rat pet, which is basically there's a thing in a lot of Neopet is about colours and customization of the pets. So all the pets can have like variants of colours, and there's a tool you can use in Neopets called Elaborate. It's kind of expensive, but you know I've got a lot of Neo points where you can zap a pet one day, which will randomly do a random effect to them, including like changing their species, changing their colour, gender, and increasing their stats, decreasing their stats, like stuff like that. So I use my Elaborate. I use my library not on any of my existing pets, but I adopt a pet from it who has like a pretty cool name, and then I zap them, and we just sort of see what happens. And it was pretty crazy because this pet turned into a Lutari, which is a limited edition pet, which I was like, that's already crazy, but you know, might as well keep zapping and seeing what happens. I already have a Lutari, by the way, and kept zapping it more, and just today it turned into Candy. And normally at this point, when it becomes someone like that, I release it back into the pound, and then I let someone else like adopt it or whatever, just to see what happens. Really what I should do is I should use a Neopets Discord and transfer it to someone who actually probably wants this pet. But part of me is also like, I kind of want to keep this pet, but I don't want to keep it on my main account because, for one, my main account, all the characters have like stories. This Neopet would just be there just for vibes, to be honest, just because it looks kind of pretty. Because it looks, I don't know, it just looks very cute. I think it looks like one of those like fizzy sweets, you know, the ones which had like the sort of like sour dusting all over the top of it, and they're sort of like a gummy. I'm not sure if that's the best description of it, but I was just like, that's pretty cute. But I'm like, I already have a Lutari, I already have a Candy pet, so I don't like having overlaps like this. So I was like, okay, you know what I'll do? This is exactly what my side account is for. Transfer this pet over to the side account. The side account can hold it. Which is what I was going to do, but turns out, I don't know what happened. I can't log into my side account anymore. I tried like all of the passwords I would usually try, and none of them work. And I was like, okay, so something is up. So I might need to open another Neopet support ticket, be like, hey, sorry, I lost access to my side account again. I don't know what happened. I think it must be a bug or something. It's crazy because I must have, when I got access, changed my password back. It would be crazy if I didn't, or changed it to something. So I genuinely don't know what happened. But at the end of the day, I might end up just giving this Neopet away, to be perfectly honest. So who knows? Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I'm just holding on to his pet now while I get another lab rat pet, and we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that's not what we're here to talk about. That's my daily 5 minutes about talk about random other things. Can't wait for Yanagi to come out though. So the final thing that we basically did in France after the Cabaret show is we just had a final day where we were just gonna like do some shopping and that sort of thing. We were just gonna do like things we missed out from the previous ones, and the only things we really missed out were Le Bon Marché, which is like a huge department supermarket store, and the garden, one of the popular gardens, and also some other small things here and there. So Le Bon Marché is like it's like a big supermarket store with like huge what's the word? Departments? Sorry, what? It's like a huge department store with a huge amount of, as I want to say, designer brands in there. Because there's like two places which are meant to be great for shopping. There's one which was like a region, which was meant to like a general area, which is pretty good for shopping. Mostly it seemed pretty good for shopping for food, and there were some nice clothes and things. But like this is a recurring trend that when we went through that area, I was like, so much of this is so expensive. Like I cannot justify buying these just willy-nilly, you know. I can't justify just walking into a shop, dropping like £500 on, to be fair, a nice looking coat, and then just leaving, you know. That's money I like. I'm not certainly above like spending money on holiday, but even that's like way above even what I would do. To be honest, I'm not that. I mean, it would be nice to be that levels of like wealth to just sort of toss around, to just be like, oh, I like that, let's purchase it. So I didn't actually end up buying anything when we were going around like the stores in the shopping district, because I was like, this is insanely expensive. I thought it would just be like high street sort of stores, but this one was like crazy. Yeah, so we did that, and then that was something we did. I don't remember, it was a few days ago. I can't remember what we did on the same day. Same day we went to the food market. So this time we went to Le Bon Marché, which is like this big department store, just to sort of look around, and it's so much of it is designer clothing and stuff, which is cool. Like, you know, do I think some designer brands are overpriced and some things in designer brands are overpriced? Yes, absolutely. Some things are insanely expensive for what they are. Sometimes you're buying it just for the name brand. But some things I also think are like pretty cool designs. Like I do like a lot of, not all designs, but I do like a lot of designs that you see in like high designer brand sort of fashion and things like that. Disproportionately expensive? Yes, because the name matters. I'm not really someone maybe that's not true. I was going to say that I'm not really someone who would buy something for a brand, but now I think about it, if you gave me the choice between buying like a name brand and a non-name brand, if they were exactly the same, I guess I would buy the name brand, right? Because that's like got some sort of level of recognizability. It's like, to be fair, a little bit of a flex. And you know, these sort of things, as clothes do, have a statements about like what impression you're trying to give off, or what like you're trying to state, you know. And you know, I don't think that's necessarily bad. It just is, in my opinion. But you know, spend responsibly, and obviously not all of it will be to your tastes. Some of it certainly is just there just for the sake of it, which is like, you know, you can have your own thoughts, I suppose, on that. And but that's not really what we're here to discuss. What we're here to discuss is there's so many designer brands, and it was so much in this department store because it was so expensive. Because I remember being like, oh, I wonder what places in Paris are like great to shop at. And then there were like three things. There was a region I talked about. Some people said it was Champs-Élysées, but you know, it's also very touristy, so it's not like that great. And then the other thing that people said was like Le Bon Marché. It was like a really cool department store with like a lot of great stores. And I was like, okay, cool. I see there's a lot of designer brands here in the listing as well, but I'm sure some of it will be like accessible as well. But I was just like walking around, and I was like, oh, this is like a stationery store. This is kind of cool. Oh, look at this book. That's asking, it's like a sort of like a bound notebook or something. How much does it cost? And it was like £60, and I was like, that's a bit expensive for this notebook. As cool as it is, so I put it down, and I was like, oh, fountain pens. How much does this cost? And it was like €2,000, and I was like, that is way too expensive. I'm not gonna buy something which costs €2,000. And then I looked at the next one. It was like, and then I sort of made it like a mini game, being like, oh, let's try and find something which is really expensive. And the most expensive thing I saw was like one of the fountain pens was like €8,000, and I was like, I cannot imagine buying an €8,000 fountain pen. Obviously, it must be a pretty darn good fountain pen, or have some sort of significance, or be like a crazy name brand. But like, the only way I could wrap my head around about buying this €8,000 fountain pen is just imagining, like, what if my take-home salary was 100 times what it is currently? Then that fountain pen would be like €80, and even then I'd be like, man, that's a bit of a expensive fountain pen. But if I quite like fountain pens, yeah, I'd get it. You know, if it was like a hobby of mine or something, or if I was like, okay, I really want to kind of like not splash out, that's the wrong word, but if I was like, okay, if I want like a more high-end thing, I'd be like, that is crazy. Because earning 100 times more is a little bit out of my league right now. But yeah, there's so many things which are just expensive. Like, I really did enjoy looking around the clothes and that sort of thing, and seeing like the stuff there. But a lot of it, like, I just like, oh, I wonder how much this costs. €200? Okay, I'm not going to buy that. I can't justify this €200 sweater, as nice as it is. As nice as it is. But that's the sort of thing, like, if my take-home salary was 10 times what it was now, €20 sweater, that's a bargain. Well, for like what it's made out of, I suppose. It would be expensive for like a cheap sweater, but still. No, it wouldn't. Wait, what am I saying? €20 is not, £20 is not going to be expensive for a cheap sweater. Now I think about it. Well, okay, I guess it kind of depends what you mean by cheap. If you're thinking of something just like from Shells and Primark, yeah, I guess it is kind of like on the expensive side. Those can be like, some of those can be like £7 or something. Like some of the casual sweaters and hoodies I bought from there, like, are super cheap. But yeah, they had a lot of like really expensive things. I didn't end up buying anything. I did say to myself, I was like, I should buy at least one thing from this place, because I'm like, what? Not like there's no point in me being here otherwise, but I was like, it'd be cool to get like a little souvenir thing. And then I was like, oh, I saw something, and I was like, this is good. This is a good thing to buy. I saw like what looked to be like a hair clip with like a really nice, sort of like nice, or like a simply nice butterfly on it. And I was like, awesome. That seems like a great thing to purchase. How expensive could it be? And it was €250. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to buy that. Which is a real shame. Because I probably actually would have bought it if it was maybe like 30, 40, maybe even €50 or something. It was quite nice looking. I didn't expect it to be that expensive, and just, you know, but to be able to have something like that would have been cool. But one of my friends, like, he bought some sunglasses for his girlfriend that she wanted, or something like that. Another friend, he bought, I think he just bought a drink from a cafe, to be honest. There was like a home section as well, like a home store section, but I was like, there's nothing here I want to buy from like a home store section. I feel like if I was here, I would buy something from like a designer brand or something. But there was nothing which really jumped out enough for me to want to spend. Like, that's the sort of thing I would have to think about it. Just be like, I would have to buy something which is versatile enough I could use it like multiple times, and with a variety of different things, but not in this case. We also, so after that was Le Bon Marché. It was still honestly pretty fun to walk around, and I still like walking around department stores and that sort of thing. But afterwards we went to get like some chocolate mousse from this place which was like on TikTok. I thought it was pretty nice, but I'm not like a great judge of chocolate mousse, so it's not something I have very often. I was just like, yeah, it's pretty good. Expensive, definitely expensive, but pretty good. And then, oh yeah, then we went to like an Italian restaurant to eat like food. I remember I didn't eat anything here because I was just like, I'm not even slightly hungry. I don't know how you lot can eat a meal, because we had lunch already. Yeah, so this was at 4 p.m. I don't even remember what we had for lunch. I didn't take a picture of it, apparently. Apparently no one took a picture of it. Did we have a delivery? Oh no, maybe we did just walk here. Or maybe I was just like, I'm gonna save what I'm gonna eat for. What did I have? What did we have for lunch that day? I don't remember. Clearly, the picture wasn't worth it. But yeah, we had like some pizza and spaghetti. My friends, they wanted to buy a beret. And initially, we were going to try and do it at like Le Bon Marché, but the berets were like €40 there, and I was just like, okay, I know it's probably a good quality beret. I don't wear berets all that often. I don't wear hats all that often. I'm trying to sort of like incorporate it a bit more. Like that's why I've got this like cashmere beanie, which to be fair was also like £40, but you know that's cashmere, so like that's kind of to be expected. Actually, yeah, it wasn't even £40. I think it was £20, like 25. So while I'm sure that beret was very high quality, I have a beret, a beige beret, which I didn't bring to Paris. But my friends just bought some like very cheap berets from like, you know, one of those like tourist trap sort of stores where they have like these like cheap magnets and keychains and things like that. So they bought like a lime green one and a bright orange one. Honestly, quite amusing. I don't know if they've worn it since, but maybe they have. Then we went to a place to get some macarons. I say very much this was like a grab bag of all these sort of different things we were doing. So we got some macarons from this place. Had them. I brought them home to give to my family as well, and I had some as well. Honestly, pretty good. I liked them a lot. The thing I liked most, they're from a cafe called Angelica or something like that. The thing I liked most about it, the box it was in was so cute. It was like a 2-tiered macaron box. Like I could have got a 1-tier one, but I was like, this box is so cute, I have to get this 2-tier one. And I've been trying to figure out what to put in it to hold things. I actually think a great idea now, because I've actually bought some more earrings today. Because I can take out the earrings in my ears, but like I don't want to wear the ones in my ears anymore because they're just like steel bars essentially. So I bought some like very simple ones today as well. I had a thought on my way home, but I was just like, if I just get like a foam block and put it at the bottom of a macaron box, I could use this as like an earring holder and it would be sick. But I need to get some foam for that at some point. So I think that's probably what I'll do, as like a sort of like tidy way to hold my earrings. But yeah, and then we went to the park. The park was a bit meh, I would say. It was not the most interesting park in the world. It was quite a soily dirt park, should I say? And then we took a Eurostar home. I didn't really take many photos of Eurostar. I took a photo of my friend just surrounded by suitcases and stuff. I took some photos of wine because I was gonna buy some wine, but then because they weren't really all that cheap, because I guess they're not duty free on Eurostar, and it was just us leaving. So there you go. There's my Parisian holiday in a nutshell. As it was sort of like a grab bag of things. I don't know, but Bon Marché. Is that what it was called? Le Bon Marché? Le Bon Marché Rive Gauche. Yeah, that's what it was. I think it was cool. Like, I think it was really cool to walk around and fun to walk around. I just don't have enough money to toss around to be able to spend there freely. I suppose, like, I feel like I wanted to. Because it's such good vibes shopping, like going out and being like, ooh, I like that, I'll pick it up and that sort of thing. But, you know, that's like, can't do that with designer brands unless you're very exceedingly rich. Maybe someday. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode up here because I have nothing else to really say. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time. Oh, stand up. Bye-bye for now.